me, gentlemen. I'm working security for the store here. I have to ask you to take your beers in your car and go on out, okay?
Well,
thanks a lot.
Yeah, well, I don't think we're ready to go.
Look, guys. I don't want any trouble, okay?
Yeah, well,
take your stuff and get in the car.
Should we come out here?
Hey, I'm in charge of security, you understand?
You ain't in charge of nothing, pal.
Take your stuff. Come on, Terry, get your car down. Go now.
It's a sad fact that violence has become a way of life in many American cities. Do you know how to defend yourself? Are you prepared? Welcome to 9 Dragon Baguazhang for street combat. I'm Captain John Painter of the American Rangers. The techniques on this videotape are not classical Chinese martial arts. They are practical methods at work in a real street fight. They're based upon my 20 years of training law enforcement officers in defensive tactics and also as working as a bodyguard. Let's begin.
In this, the third tape in our series, we will begin to examine just a few of the thousands of natural methods for dealing with street fighting. I am going to show you how to apply the 9 Dragon Baguazhang combat principles from tapes 1 and 2 to real combat situations. I will be demonstrating how to use the fire and thunder postures against street fighters, boxers, and martial artists of various styles in unrehearsed situations, moving in many cases at full combat speed. Then we will break down these moves and show you how we can apply the timing and principles to make the methods natural and effective. If you watch, practice, and learn these principles and concepts on this tape, you will be on your way to understanding what natural style Chinese Baguazhang boxing art is all about. In the 9 Dragon Baguazhang system, we've been discussing the concept of stances. We have the dragon stance here and the tiger stance here. We also looked at a way of applying power from the dragon to the tiger stance. It's very important that we begin to understand how to use the hands. There's a principle in this art called cross the great river, which I want to talk to you about. Okay, Terry, would you come in and help me with this? Now, if we take different stances, our power can be different according to the way we stand. Let's say you're in a dragon stance like that. You drop the weight and you center. Now, suppose you wanted to strike with your hands. If you were to strike with this hand right here, for using power, say like a heaven palm, this would really be incorrect according to the principles of 9 Dragon system, because all of your energy now is heavy or yang on this side of your body. Now, let me illustrate that, okay? If I hold onto your arm here and I pull you forward, because this side of your body is light or yin, it will pull you over. If you were to receive some kind of force or energy here and I push into you, it will push you backwards. Now, some people might think, well, it'll do that no matter what. However, this is not correct. Stand with your foot forward in the dragon stance. Now, put your elbow down and your palm up. This is called a cross the great river stance or Tai Chi stance, because your energy is coming into this hand. Your base leg is here. So you have yang here, yin here, and yin here in this leg. So it's a cross, just like the Tai Chi symbol with the divided circle in the middle. If I grab hold of your arm here now, I can show the stability by pulling, and your leg here now will receive the force. When I push, the back leg now will receive the force, and you are very strong, all right? Let's reverse that and put you forward into a tiger stance. In the tiger or forward bow stance posture, when you're relaxed here, again, if you were to punch with this hand forward, as we just did a moment ago, in the dragon stance, we'd have a problem. Because again, we have all of the energy here, and all of the energy here, and no energy over here. So there is no balance, all right? So if I were to pull on this one, you see, you might could strike very hard by putting all your energy there, but you have no energy left in reserve. That's the important thing to remember. You need to keep energy in reserve. So what we want to do is put this hand down for the blocking movement here, put this hand up. And in this posture, or any of the hand posture we might be using, anywhere we would be, now
the energy is coming from the back leg up through this hand, supported by this leg. So we have yang here, yin on this side, and yin on this side. Again, we have the cross. And with the cross, you're very strong now in the front and extremely strong in the back. You see? This is what we call cross the great river. So every time, you'll stand up for just a second, that we punch or that we strike or that we want to issue power in using this system, whether we're walking the circle or doing a linear technique, doesn't really matter. We always match so that in the dragon stance, it's the front hand, or A hand we call it, that gives power, while the B hand holds the energy in reserve, you see? Whenever we come into a tiger stance, the A hand here moves back, and the rear hand becomes the A hand, and now the energy is coming off of the back leg, pushing up through the hip, torso, shoulders, and out into the fingers. This is what we call cross the great river. This is called the square circle, this little square with the lines on it that we're looking at, or the 8-point pattern. Now these patterns are in the same 8 positions as the 8 gua we had circling around the circle in the Baguazhang diagram we were using a while ago. What we're going to look at here is the positioning. In every stance, or in every position that one stands in, there are 2 very strong positions. Now, for example, here Terry's standing in sort of a void or horse stance in between. And if I push on him here, you'll see he's extremely powerful along this black line. If I walk over here and push on him here, it's easy to see he's extremely powerful along this line. But he is very weak if I push here. This is true of everyone. He's also very weak if I push to the rear, like this. Now, what this tells me is that each individual has 2 strong points and 6 weak points. There are 2 major weak points. Let's look at that. Terry, will you turn over this way and get into a tiger stance to be good? There. Now, you'll notice in Terry's tiger stance, which is similar to any kind of stance in Chinese martial arts or any other style of fighting, that the weight on the front leg is here in the back. This means that now along this black line, Terry is very, very strong, all right? To the back, he's very, very strong. This is a tremendous amount of energy he can give from this leg. However, if I want to neutralize Terry or take advantage of him, then I will use one of these other 6 lines. So I might enter Terry from over here along the blue line, and then just a simple push in that direction will unbalance him. Again, from the rear, just a simple push along the same line through here will also unbalance him. Now I can move along to all 6 positions, pushing into those, and I can unbalance him. As we move into the strategy of this art, it's very important that we understand how to unbalance someone from the very first touch. That's important because if the individual is trying to maintain his balance, he's not going to be trying to hit you back, strike you, or hold you. He's going to be too busy trying to stand up. So let's take a dragon stance, back-weighted stance. It's exactly the same thing. In this direction, it's not very strong, and in this direction. Now you will begin to see that the circle walking application, when I'm being confronted by somebody, is very important. The ba step begins to cut in to the middle of his line, allowing me to unbalance him. If I understand this principle, no matter which hand he's using, I can come in and even apply pressure to his arm or hand or to his body and begin pushing along the weak line immediately, rather than just simply trying to move his arm and he fights me back and hitting at me. I can move in and begin moving along that weak line he has here and be unbalancing him. He can be striking from here. I can move along that weak line and be unbalancing him. Controlling his balance is of primary importance. Draw these kind of lines on your floor somewhere, tape them off, play with them. Look at all the different kinds of stances, fighting stances, boxing stances. Find their 2 major strengths and their 6 major weaknesses, and practice learning to move into them, into these weak points to control balance. Practice on the body and practice also on the arm. Understand that when you press somewhere here on the arm, the body will fold, and you can't control the balance point. So you control here, control the balance point from here. Very important. Control the balance point by hooking from here. Once you can control the balance point in static positions, you have to play with it in moving positions. Matt and I are now going to illustrate some more of the tactical considerations in combat preparation. When anything comes at you or strikes you, it's coming almost on a straight line. That straight line is really a curve, which we'll look at in a little bit. But in neutralizing force as it comes at you, you want to get what we call off the line. We'll consider this black line down here the line. So Matt is in any one of his fighting stances, and as he moves forward, if I try to block him and move off and stay on the line, then he can simply follow up with another attack, and I have to keep backpedaling. This means eventually I'm going to get hit. So I have various ways of moving off the line. Now, let me show you from here. I'm going to put my back to you for just a moment, so just watch. If I put Matt here, he's on the line. This is where his fist is going to be coming. So you see here, I can move forward and move off the line to here. I can move forward and move off the line to here. I can move backwards and move off the line to here. I can move backwards and move off the line to here, like so. Each of these movements takes me off the original line of his punch. I can also, as I'm moving here, use my circling methods to get inside to strike. But basically, I want to get out of the way of the weapon. Now, it'll stand to reason if you watch this that most of the time you don't want to move to his inside here because this leaves another weapon right here. So in many of the 9 Dragon methods, we want to move off the line to his weak spot where his weapons are not as effective. Then we're striking, punching, throwing, or kicking, whatever we're going to do. But essentially, we get off the line and control his balance. Controlling his balance means that when we're on the line here and he comes forward, I step off the line, but the minute I touch him, I begin unbalancing him. Very important to do that. I don't care what palm it is. He can be punching the fist. To get off the line here, see? Each time I move, I get off the line and I control his balance. That's what we need to learn. Practice this with your partner. Have him stand, get him in a position, and just don't let him punch at you first. Just put his hand here and see what it takes. Which foot do you want to step with? Which will take you in the right position first? You examine that. Take a look at it. Is this the best position? Is this the best? Which is the best moving here? Look at it. Why don't you want to move in here? Because you're wide open. See, now you've got a fight on your hands. You want to control him, put him down, whatever you're going to do to him from a position where he feels uncomfortable and where you feel in control. Make him out of control, you keep your control. That's getting off the line. Baguazhang is about circles. However, any type of attack, no matter what it is, comes on a circle. There's really no such thing as a straight punch. Let me illustrate. Matt, step forward. Mike, I'm sorry. Step forward right here. We've got you in this position. Now, when Mike wants to punch me with his fist, this one or this one, either one, a straight punch, what's called a straight punch, bang. This is not straight. If you'll look at it, there's a series of circles. It's rising, lifting up, so it's coming through an arc. His shoulder's also curving in. So there are many circles here. Learning to neutralize along the circular line will help you to completely throw your opponent's balance off. That's very important. Look at the other hand. He does what's called a straight punch. Come up, bang. This is not a straight punch. It lifted up. It came on a circle. Punch right here. It's still coming up in a circle. The fist is twisting in a circle. There are many circles within circles here. Understanding how to neutralize and blend with these circles helps you to understand how to control the person's energy. Let's say a back fist is coming. Let's just take a posture like a back fist, bang, like this. With a back fist, this is still a circle. It's an arc. His body's opening up in a large circle. No matter how small he makes it, it's still a circle. If he chops down at me here, whack, this is still a circle coming in. I learn to blend with this circle. I learn to use my palms with this circle. Then I know exactly how to deal with it. Every time he makes any kind of a movement with his body towards me, it's going to be on a circular line. If I learn to flow with that line, everything's all right. Let's say it's a kick, just a straight kick up. There's a circle, all right? It could be a side kick. It's still up in a circle right here. These are all circles. Crescent kick, we already know, would be a circle. He comes around, it's still a circle. Whack, just like that. All of these are circles. As we look in this part of the tape now, we're going to deal with how to deal with these circles. We can do it this way. We have what we call doorways or gates. This is the inside, here, the center line. When we're moving, if I want to close him, I call closing the door. When he moves forward this way, I will use one of my palms, like thunder palm, for example, yin, to close the door. This is wrapping his body up. This is closing the doorway. I can also use the palm here. Let's just look at thunder palm again. Thunder palm yin to open the door, allowing me access to the inside. I can use heaven palm, for example, or any other palm, here to uplift. This is called uplifting, which also unbalances him. Any of the palms can be used in this way. For right now, we'll use fire palm. Coming up, this is uplifting. Fire palm closing. See? Fire palm opening. See? Each way. You can use that. The yin palms are used a great deal on the kicks, opening and closing. When he kicks forward here, closing the door, like so. He kicks forward here, getting off the line, opening the door. Let's try that one more time. Here, bang, just like this. Opening the door, closing the door. Then if he kicks here, also upholding the door. So we'll throw him backwards. These methods are ways of controlling, again, his center. I'm not so interested in the weapon as long as I get off the line. I'm really interested in the spine, opening, closing, and upholding. These are important principles to use in combat. It's very important that you don't play the other man's game. If you get suckered into a rhythm or the game that the other man is playing, and it's outside of what you've already ingrained into yourself, you're going to get in trouble. For example, a boxer that uses feints and uses jabs and the sucker body punches, well, you just try to keep blocking him. This is what happens. Terry, okay. Oh! Like this. This can be really painful. You don't want that. When he comes in, he first starts the first move, use the fire palm and get him. Okay? To heck with what he's going to do. When he comes with that jab, hit him. Use the fire palm immediately, come to the back, hit him again. Okay? Jab, jab again. 1, 2, 3. Like this. I simply came off the line. That's why I didn't even bother to block this. Look, when he's here, turn around. When he's here, he'd have punched me out here with this jab, right here. But when he moved, I simply slipped to the side. Strike, strike over here. Keep the legs closed in the dragon stance so he can't kick you. Then you've got all of these here, and then push him off and move out. This is a good way to get around behind him and move rapidly. But again, don't let him get you, because he can hook you here. He can come up and hook you here like this. If you play this game with him, he's going to get you because he's better at it than you are. What you want to do is the first time he moves, control that balance and get in there. Control his balance from the first movement. Very, very important. Thunder palm application will be exactly the same thing. When he starts this, use a thunder palm yin, thunder palm yang. Follow up. Do that a little bit quicker. This way, yin yang. Here. See, I'm wrapping, controlling, palming. Back here. I want to make a point here. Many people think that in Bakwa, no matter who the fighter is, that what you're going to do in Baguazhang is walk around the outside of him. That training is in the beginning. I'm not really trying to walk around the outside of him. I'm trying to move in a very tight angle here and then change that angle as I come in so that by the time he's realized he's missed me, I'm already hitting him, throwing him out, and I'm on my way. That's the most important concept to look at in terms of slipping the punch, getting out of the way. Make the body sinuous, almost like a snake or a dragon, so it can move and dodge. And as you move, don't take really wide stances. If your stance gets too wide, then he'll just give you a little bump and you're gone. So don't do that either. Use a long stance only if you want to fall down. Use a short stance when you come in here so you've got something to spring off of and push him out. That's how you control him. This is how we use the fire and thunder palm against the boxer technique. The wedge concept. I want you to look at Mike's fist right here. My arm is like an oval, so when I put it here, if I just simply roll the arm over, it moves him. Now, if he was right in front of me like this, and I just simply move my arm, this turns him. This allows me to keep coming down. You'll notice that as I move down his arm, sliding my body weight forward, it will act just like a wedge and begin to displace him. This wedge concept can be used with either hand as you move in. It can be used with either palm as you move in. It can be used to the inside as well to displace his energy. We call this the wedge principle. If you use the wedge principle correctly, you move into where you're at the elbow control or the shoulder control, and therefore you control his balance. If you use the wedge principle right, when you come in, you can negate a combination. Now, Matt likes to throw unusual combinations, and Mike likes, with his kicks, Mike likes to throw them with his palms and his hands. So, Mike, let's use a back fist combination of some kind. He would come with just slow first, use a back fist, one, then boom, an elbow strike. Good. This could be really difficult to combat, especially if he came like this and I blocked him with a hard block, and this is coming right on through, whang, I'm in trouble, see? Might use his elbow there if I blocked or whatever. See? Block up again, boom, boom. This could be really painful. So using the wedge, he's going to throw the back fist and then throw that combination pretty quick. Step around here so we can see it. I'm just going to use the fire palm as a wedge. Okay, ready? Throw it. Now, the reason he missed is that he was already flying in the opposite direction, not because of any force I gave out, but because of the physics principle here. His energy is simply rotating around this shoulder. When I moved into that wedge, do it again fast, and let's look at what happens. See? You almost hit yourself. You did, you okay? Yeah. All right. So when he moves in really slow, we can see that as I move here, I'm not stopping this, I'm sliding down into here, and that wedge is controlling his action. It could be any type of a combination. It could be a 1-2 punch. It could be one coming here, and another punch here, a hook punch like he's doing like this, bang, bang. Once this came in here and I controlled the wedge, see, then that's all over with. Controlling his spine. That's the principal concept. Control his spine. Get off the line. Control his spine. All right, now we're going to look at controlling the center from the first touch. In a punch, when his hand is coming forward, it might be a punch, chop, I don't care what it is. Any way it's coming, any hand position is irrelevant. If I am trying to control him and I touch him or block him, let's say with fire palm right here or thunder palm right here, either way, or thunder palm here, if I touch him here, I have this joint and this joint before I get to the spine. I don't want that. I want to be able to move the spine from the first touch. Move the spine, you control his balance, you control his mind, you control his body. So if I just block him here when he punches, his arm can turn and he comes right back in for something else. See? It's very easy. I can control him here when he punches, he can hit me with his elbow. So it's better to use what I call the wedge principle and come in here with a palm, let's say thunder palm, and attach it to his elbow. Let's wrap around here so we can take a look. All right? We move here. If I control his elbow, both with a circular turn and a forward action, now I'm controlling his balance. So here, I'm now controlling his balance. That's what I mean by controlling him for the first touch here. The closer I get between here, the elbow and the forearm, the better off I'm going to be. That way, if he tries to change the position on me, I've already got a hold on him and I can lift, push, close, or open. I've got a complete control of his body from there. Very important. That could be a back fist. Be the same thing. Don't want to do this. This is a hard block. It also allows him to fold the elbow, or it allows him to grab me, pull me down, and punch. They don't want that. He back fists. I use my circle walking to get here. I close. I've got hold of the elbow. I'm controlling him, throwing him out. See? So even with the back fist, like this, I'm moving here. I'm controlling him this way. I'm neutralizing. Fire palm, back fist. This way. This will break his elbow. This is the uplifting, you see, like this. Control there. All right, how about the feet? When he kicks, if he kicks, I'll just kick side kick up here. If he kicks like this, if I back up, again, he can keep right on following through every time I block him. He's probably going to follow up with a combination. To stop that, I need to control his center. Best not to control it at the ankle. Even if I do control it, punch, kick rather, here. See, now he's got more control. Better if I control him near here, this part, because when I do that, that moves the whole center of his body and turns him. Let's change direction here for a second so we can see that. Now come up in this direction. with the kick, move here. This controls his center, controls his balance. Again, from here, this way. See, thunder palm. If I want to move to the inside, same kick, move in here, control the box, out, like this. Keep the hand up. I'm dropping my hand down so I'm not trying to want you to see where I am, here. Now this is a dangerous position. That's why the palm would be one up, one down. So I've got all sorts of controls here that we're going to get into. If it's a crescent kick coming around here, move in and control the knee again, sourcing. See, from here. Don't try something fancy, as we'll talk about later, like ducking under and a lot of things that you might not be able to do really fast on the street because you don't know how high the guy's going to kick. Simply move in, control at the knee. That way, whether he changes his kick from here into a knee strike, you're okay. You're okay. You don't have to worry what he's going to do. You don't have to also try to learn 1,000 different ways for 1,000 different tactics. With this system, if you do one thing and you do it right, no matter what he does, it's going to pull him off balance. It's going to misdirect him. It's going to throw him out of control. That's the first thing. Get off the line, control his center. If we've come this far in the series of Baguazhang 9 Dragon for street combat, we can now begin to look at various ways of using these methods for defense against different types of punching and kicking. What I want to point out here is I'm going to show these applications at what we call speed 1 or full combat speed, and then we're going to break it down and show you each piece and how it works. But I do want to point out something very, very clearly. You can't paint by the number in combat. If a person's going to do one thing, you can't be sure he's not going to change in the middle of it unless he's fully committed. When you practice with a partner, practice very slowly and play with techniques, but never memorize, if he does this, I do that every time, because when you end up with someone who doesn't do exactly what you expect, you're going to get hit. So what you want to do is just let these things come out naturally. So start off very slow in your practice. Right now we're going to look at the concept of using the fire palm in the Tai Chi mode for opening. The opening going into that center, with Matt using a, let's use a roundhouse or a hook punch, okay? So Matt's going to come in here and do this, and we'll break it down, okay? All right, in this method, what we're doing is, Matt, if you'll stay right in here, I'm going to open up so we can see a little bit better. Matt's coming in with his hook punch. Here's the line, all right? First of all, I have to be off, out of his exact range, so he has to come towards me. I'm in what I would call my yellow zone, so I'm in caution. But you notice I don't take a stance. I don't take a stance because I want to be able to move in any direction. Then I can blast out with whatever I need to do. As he closes, I move off the line. As I move, that's fine. As I move off the line, the palm flashes up, not blocking him hard, but neutralizing and pulling him down like this. That simply throws his force in a circle right through my body and right back into the fire palm application. So it pulls him off the line. Let's look at it from this direction. He's hooking here, comes in, yeah, that right there. Here, pulling him in, off the line. Literally, I'm using the circle walking concept in a very quick boss-step turn and flowing up with this palm. Now, this is one way. There are thousands of ways of doing this. Let's take a look at the thunder palm, just kind of an idea. We'll use the Tai Chi here, application technique. We're going to blend this time more, again, entering the inside. Let's use the hook punch again, Matt. Okay? As we flow in, we're again controlling his balance. That's why he stumbles so much when we touch him, because the minute we go here, this starts carrying him along his circle, but just making the line bigger and bigger. So as we go in, then we're pushing off the back leg. As this comes in, it's like a huge tire that's rotating, and bam, it hits him and throws him out. Now, if I don't like him very much, which obviously I probably don't if he's trying to hit me that way, then when he comes in here like this, I use the yin palm right here on the jaw. A little faster on this one, just throw a fast one like that. This way. He comes right in there, pops him in the jaw, and he's out. Notice again the blending here, just like this. This is the thunder palm yin version. You can use these either way. when you practice, don't practice this fast with somebody. And if you do, have them wear protective equipment. Always be safe and be nice to your friends. Don't try to hurt them. Work slowly, work carefully. You can also use in the same version here when he comes hooking around, the thunder palm coming from here upward, circle it, and hit him in the back, like this. So if he pops around here, just simply comes up here and does this way. And of course you walk off in the opposite direction and go get in your car and drive away. Continuing our examination of fire and thunder palm in practical applications. Let's use Mike here. Mike, how about a back fist from some system? You want to use a back fist type energy. Rather than blocking it, let's say you throw your back fist up here like this. I don't want a hard block like this because now you've got something you can follow up with. If I back off and you throw this up here, then you can come with another technique right directly into me, see, right from here. So what I want to do is take your center from the first move. So you get ready, throw a really full speed back fist, and let's see what happens with twin fire palm. Okay, we'll use that this time. Okay. This, obviously, I didn't want to hit Mike with, but as he came up from here, the fire palm moves in, not stopping his force, moving past it, actually carrying the energy back that's coming here along the same circle. See? Right along the same circle. Then, slipping way past the point of energy. This is his point of impact. The hand moves simultaneously upward, driven by the rear leg, directly with fire palm into his jaw. The forearm strikes here. So the whole thing pushes him up and back. If I want to have a double technique, so when he comes in here like this, hit here, and as I come down, I strike him again, and drop him to the ground. So the whole thing, a little bit about moderate speed, boom, boom, this way. You can bring him in and take him down with that. That's a fire palm in that direction. This would be an upholding technique. If he's using this and I want to close him when he comes in with fire palm, go ahead. Then I move to here and just simply close his arm down using the fire palm under here as a push to lift him. So do your back fist that way. See? And just pushes and projects or lifts him out of the way. I don't want to try to move around this because it's going to take too long and expose me to danger. Like this. Yes. See, that's no good. Now if I want to use thunder palm when that comes up, I'll use the same concept here. Coming around, and here comes thunder palm to hit the kidney, or thunder palm yin to hit the back of the head. So when he comes around, do it at speed this way, see, like this. That way, I simply blend with him. Distance is very important. If I'm in here, I best be touching him when he moves. If not, I need to be just out of range, so when he moves, I control him with the thunder palm concept, or the fire palm concept, using it in any one of the variations. Get a friend and have him move very slowly with some kind of back fist technique. Doesn't matter what it is. Notice the circle. Then follow the circle. Then find out how you can come in like a wedge and control the circle without it meeting you head on. Control the circle, control his center from the first touch. Notice that each time I touch him, it's already starting to unbalance him slightly, and that continues the action as I strike. This is a way to use these for a back fist or an outward swinging type of blow. Sometimes you'll try to get somebody in a situation where you want to control them, you just don't know what they're going to do. Now, Matt, we can use like a spinning back fist kind of thing. Just show us what you're talking about doing here. This is like he's punching and he comes spinning around with a punch that you don't see. Again, back away from it like I did. As soon as I back away from it, he's following up with something else. I've got to really put the fight on. I use the neutralization concept of the circle. It's not a problem. Get yourself up there. I'm going to use fire palm first. Okay, go ahead and get yourself in position and give it. Simply that. Simply hit the back of his shoulder, projected him away from me. Watch slowly. As he comes around, I move in, so I'm completely out of the line. At this point, he can't hurt me. All I have to do now is touch his body on the balance point and shove him off. There's a control or balance point on everybody's body, just like we looked at earlier along these lines. So every time I push along the line, I'm pushing him off balance. Never push into his line. Always against the line. All right, let's use a variation of this. Use the thunder palm, okay? He comes with the action. Now, in doing that, as he moves in, this time I'm hooking the thunder palm yin right here. And I'm simply walking around this way, and when I get here, my momentum's already built up. I add it with my other hand and jerk it out, and this will spin him. He's lost complete control. Do that one more time at speed. We'll see it, what we're talking about. Okay? See? He's way over there. I'm way over here. I'm adios. This is a use of thunder and fire palm in a spinning back fist. Now let's examine thunder and fire against someone who uses a chop, like in some forms of martial arts where you want to chop in, strike the shoulder or the head or something like that. Terry, in a chop, we want to blend. So what I want you to do is give me, I'll use double fire first, and you go ahead and give me a really good chop here to the shoulder. Be sure and aim directly for the target as we move, okay? Go ahead. Okay? Blending. The first concept here in blending is that as Terry moves in and his hand comes down, this is a circle. So as the circle comes down, I lead off the line using the upward fire palm to continue deflecting and pulling. And as I come off the line, the other hand simply swings in with the leg and pops straight up into the face from here. Now actually, even though I'm entering the inside, if you'll notice, do it a little bit faster and try to throw a second punch with this hand. Okay, so in other words, I'll come in here like this, and you'll throw a second punch with this hand. Okay? Now try that at speed, and you'll see what happens. This punch will be negated. Go ahead. See? You can't get that other punch off. It touches me, but it doesn't have any force because his energy, as he's chopping down here, is gone, and that hand is out of the way. If I use the fire palm in another way, and he comes in from there, I can simply use it as what we call sourcing, which means as he chops in, I'm going to source. So chop in here. The sourcing energy stops him dead in his tracks. Go ahead and give a full power energy there. This can break the shoulder if you're not real careful. It also leaves you here, so if there's a second punch coming with the other hand after that, you can follow up. So do 1-2 like that. He goes here. See? Just like this. Whack, whack. Using the fire palm yin and fire palm yang. All right? Thunder palm. Again, blending with thunder palm is more circular. When he starts to chop, we'll use thunder palm yin and follow up with thunder palm yang. All right? That can negate the second punch. Okay, begin. Okay? Again, blending with him. At first, as he moved in slow, came in and struck him, and then because I was worried about his other hand, I'll move away. If he continues with an attack, blend in here, follow up to push him out. So using the thunder palm principle. Going with thunder palm for underneath when he's chopping here, and come around this way and spin him out. Let's watch that one again, okay? Slowly. That wasn't really combat speed. We'll just show it slow. Underneath here, thunder palm yin, fade into thunder palm yang, control him, whip him around, throw him out, using the thunder palm throughout the whole application. These are ways of dealing with the palm so that you can deal with his energy, not meet it head on, but neutralize it. Practice these slowly. In using a thrust type of punch, like a straight punch where you're stepping through this thing, low punch, body punch, something like that. We're going to try that in just a second. I'm going to use, again, the fire palm in the Tai Chi version. So step back, give me a real good, like you're coming at me to fight, a real good thrust punch. Right here, just like that. Now, the way this works is, as you're moving in, again, I'm getting offline with my body. But as I turn, that brings my hand in to the fire palm yin. And that then, as I coil, loads the leg and throws fire palm yang right back out again. So the yin goes to the yang. Loading the leg with the first move here, off the line, so he's missed me. This is not a real option now. Even if he throws a punch up here, this one will negate it. If he throws the punch wide, coming up here, I can simply come on around with that wide. See, I can simply negate it here and go back to fire palm over here, locking the arm. So it doesn't really matter. He can come here with one, follow up with two, you negate and control. Again, controlling his balance from the very beginning. That's the most important point. Practice this with the fire palm. Let's look at thunder palm, okay? In the thunder palm, when this comes in here, simply negate it this way, all right? Now we'll use kind of a whipping action. So when you come in, do me one at speed here. You see it? You okay? All right. This one comes in, negates, came back with thunder palm thunder palm yin here, rather. Popping him just like this, in here. Getting the belly. Slow. Comes in here, come up with thunder palm yin this way. Change it to thunder palm yang, this way. Strike him in the back of the neck as you move away. Let's look at that again, kind of slow. First one here, bang, bang. It's like this. These are just examples of ways to use these palms. They're not the only ways. Play with them. As long as you obey the principles and techniques, you'll find ways of doing it. Practice slowly. Practice breaking it down. Understand how to use it. Now, another type of blow is sometimes a sucker or uppercut type punch. You know, Mike. I keep calling you Matt. I'm sorry. Mike, we pull this up here. Boom, uppercut. It can come in real close. It can come in real far. It can be big. It all depends on how the person uses it. It really doesn't matter how you use it. Blending of this one, again, is getting off the line, wherever you want to get off the line. So what I want you to do is do one, and I'm going to use the fire palm twin yang on an inside. So you get back here and give me one real nice and fast. Get ready, and give me one real nice and fast from there. And there's the blow, right here. You'll see that I move from here. As I move in, this palm is coming into the yang position, and it's blasting up just like it's supposed to do. It's negating this punch, taking it off the line. Let me move here so it's easier to see. Moving it off the line. This moves it right off the line and out of the way. And it doesn't interrupt my force coming up into his face. This also, like we did earlier, if he's got another punch coming here, negates that as well. So if I come up here and he blocks me, let's say, with this hand, there we go, like this. I can still, because I have this hand here, blast up with him again here into this position using that fire palm concept. Now, let's say we're going to go to the outside position. He comes up. We move here, and we come up with the fire palm. We're going to catch him in the back of the head like this. We're going to catch him underneath the arm here and flash him away. Again, the back here like this. I can hit the kidney in this point right here. Strike the kidney with the fire palm. Same thing. Thunder palm. We're going to use the yin version. He's going to come around through here. Bang. Just like this. Just simply walking around his circle or directly almost into him. Slow. Here. The yin. Notice how that's pulling him off balance from the beginning? This one's coming in here, hitting the jaw. He can hand his hand down here. If he comes up to block this, simply change it back the other way. That's all. If you feel a touch, then go back the other way. Just use it in that manner. Learn to get really sensitive. Sensitivity is developed by watching the earlier tapes in this series on using the pushing exercises and the twin dragon exercises and the what we call sticky hands or pushing palm arts in the earlier versions of the tape. That develops sensitivity so that whenever something is coming at you and you feel a touch, you immediately change to something else. You don't just keep trying to power through, but you control the center. If there's too much force and it's coming back, then you just control it, roll out, and do something else. Okay? That's how we use the fire and thunder palm in this application. There are many applications. Play with all of them. Create your own. Develop your own concepts. But always use the correct principles. In the nine-dragon Baguazhang system, as taught to me by Mr. Li Lung Dao, we don't want to oppose someone who's going to try to attack us. We want to meet their energy by getting off the line and flow. In kicking, it's the same thing. Now, Terry, if you just step in here real close for just a second. If he's kicking low, like at my knee here or leg, then I simply use the heron and come back, coming up into this step with a phoenix stepping pattern maybe and pushing his leg down and coming in. That's all right. The one thing I don't want to do, though, is come back here as he comes to that, doing this and retreat, because now he'll just step through and continue. So what I need to do is keep a good distance so that when he moves, I use the same concepts of flowing with the circle. Let's say Terry just do this really slow first. He's going to throw a side kick up here. He throws a side kick up here. Boom. He's going to hit me here. When he does this, if I block him and jump back, he's got a back fist, he's got all sorts of other things going to be coming at me. I don't want that. I want to control him. I'm going to use fire palm Tai Chi version for this side kick first. I'm going to get off the line. So let's go right about here, Terry, and give me a real good full speed one. Let's see what happens. Good. Now let's see what we're doing here. As Terry moves up with the kick, I'm getting off the line, hooking in with the fire palm yin. Let me hold you here for a second. Then I'm striking with the forearm into his back, turning his circle. This will knock him down. Now I consider a side kick actually the same way I would a front snap kick. It doesn't really matter. If he throws up a front snap kick from here slow, yeah, boom. It's still a straight line kick coming on a circle rising up. So I can use the same principle. Okay, do the same thing. In the same way, up and under. Look at it again slowly. He throws it up. Lock, catch, charge into him. That projects him off balance. This is how we use this in terms of dealing with what we would call a straight line kick, which is actually a circle. It would be the same thing if it were a knee attack coming here. Same thing. Turn it on the circle. You could use as he came up slow, you could use it this way. Now for thunder palm, when he comes with the side kick, I want to hook the thunder palm around here and control. So let's do thunder palm this way too, okay? But I'm going to move you in a different direction. So give me a full speed one there and we'll do thunder palm. And notice thunder palm dumps him in a little bit different direction. As we work with that, as he comes in, the thunder palm yin contacts the leg here, not interrupting the force. I'm getting off the line. Here. Here's the line. I'm getting off the line. No, you're not hitting me. I want you to hit right at me. Okay? I'm getting off the line. Then I use the thunder palm yin. Come in, catch, now carry that energy back around with the thunder palm and dump him down. Since it will be almost the same thing with a snap kick, when he comes in here, it'll be the same concept. Dumping him down. Here. Same way. This is how we deal with these two types of kicks, playing with the energies of fire and thunder. All other palms in the system can be used in a similar manner, but they will all have a different type of energy. Play with them slowly with a friend. Experiment and learn. There are times when you're going to have to deal with somebody who's seen a lot of movies with martial arts where they use a lot of high kicks. I don't think they're really practical many times, but Matt's an excellent kicker. So Matt, just show me without doing anything here. Let's look at it like a reverse crescent kick. Don't do it to me. Just do a kick and let's see what they kind of look like. Kind of a reverse crescent like this. He might have a roundhouse kick this way. These kicks are really powerful. They can be delivered quite hard by somebody who's skilled. Somebody who's not skilled, it's difficult to use them well. We're going to look at fire palm and thunder palm in an application against these right now. So the first thing we'll do is let Matt do a reverse crescent kick kind of thing. I'm going to use the fire palm concept. Now, Matt, we're going to change our angle a little bit here so you don't get hurt and I don't get hurt. We're already just as friends. So you get that in there, give me that, and we'll use the fire palm. All right, you okay? All right. When he moves in, what we're going to do is come underneath. Again, here's the line of force. It's coming up here like this. This is what he expects to have happen. He also expects probably for me to get back if I jump. So he's coming like this. I may move back, then he's going to follow up. Again, we don't want that follow-up business. We want to control him from the first touch. So when his foot comes up slow, I'm moving in here with the fire palm past the point of impact. And just for illustration, let me show you something. Okay, bring the foot up about half speed, and I'm just going to step inside it. From here, there's no force at all. By the time I get to his knee, there's almost no force. Do it again a little bit faster. See that? There's no force. It's gone. So if I come in with the fire palm and I hook it under in the yin position, past it, now I have interrupted it here. I don't care about this because this palm is right here, already closing the line. Then I simply just keep walking the circle and carry it up and carry him back. If I'm pretty lucky with this, he may not have the other hand ready, so when he comes up about medium speed, I can hit him with this palm as I come in. That way we'll take him down in that direction. Now, if we're going to use the thunder palm application with that, then we'll spin around and catch him a little bit differently. So if he comes up with that kick about half speed, we'll just show it like that. Just come around here this way and spin him around. And do that a little faster, so I don't want you to get hurt, but just, okay, come from there. Same idea, just like that. I'm going to blend in with you, control you. Let's look at that slow. As he moves in, coming in here with the yin palm. Again, I'm not interested in the thing. If it hits me here, that's going to hurt. If it hits me here, this isn't going to hurt very much. So I'm going to loop it in with my palm, control it, pull it out. That takes him down. Now, a more common kick is this roundhouse. It can be very dangerous. We're going to look at it here with the fire palm. When he brings the roundhouse in and up, it's trying to hit again with that point. So let's look at what happens here as I move in and use the fire palm in what we call the crossing maneuver, just like in doing walking the circle type applications. Okay, get here and get a really good one. All right. This is the energy. Now let's look at what we did. As he comes with the energy up, I step off the line. Once I reach here, there's not much force. This palm is coming up under here in the fire palm configuration. This palm is on the outside like this. It's not meant to stop him, just to check him. This is neutralizing him as it rises. So he comes here, it neutralizes him. I don't duck under it. I keep lifting it and then throw his hand down with the momentum built up by the speed. I throw my hand down, that throws him down. Thunder palm application would be with that kick coming in here and looping it. So if he comes in at speed here with thunder palm, simply control him and put him down, like so. Let's look at that slow. When he comes in, step in with thunder palm, control him, loop him and put him down. Curl the palm over. Okay? These applications are very circular. They look complicated, but they're not. No one can 3, 4, 5 attackers at one time for very long. So when you're dealing with multiple opponents, 1, 2, or 3, we've got 2 people here, what you want to do is make sure that you use the strategic positioning. That's very important. If I'm here like this and Terry and Mike are advancing on me and I'm like this, and suddenly Terry throws a punch here and then Mike's right on top of me. So I've got to deal with both of them at once. The only way people get out of this kind of thing is in the movies because they've read the script. Okay? The best way to deal with this is take the guy that's nearest you first and move. So when Terry's going to come in, I want you to attack me, I want you to attack me. So when we're moving here, we're like this. When we start here, Terry will come, comes with a move and a punch, use fire palm into you. Then you're here. That's okay. I'll take you right there. So when I move in, I'm going to keep you circling this way until I have control. The one that's nearest me is going to get the punch. Here. See? Then I might punch you over here. Perfectly all right. But if you're here, you're going to catch me, again, out of the way. Pop. See? Both of you, one into the next. Don't let them get you here so that you're in this position. If you're here, I can't see him. Then I got to keep looking. Close the wedge. Here's the wedge, see? Close the wedge. If you try to sneak around me, fine, then I'm going to turn with my footwork and close the wedge. Just like a beam from a flashlight. I want you to approach me. The best thing to do is hightail it out of there. Don't stand and fight if you can't beat the odds. This is one of the ways of dealing with multiple opponents. Well, these are some applications of the fire palm and thunder palm, practical combat techniques that you can work on and use. Practice slowly with a friend. Use any of the palms, fire palm, heaven palm, earth palm, doesn't matter. Practice them, understand the basic principle. Energy comes up from the ground, energy circles with an opponent, get off the line, move his spine, counterattack. Very important to do that. Never back up if you can help it. Always keep going in at an angle. Play with these techniques. Work with them. See what you can come up with. That's the way you really learn. Thanks for being with me on this tape.
There are many ways to deal with physical attacks. What I have presented here is just the tip of the iceberg. Remember, nothing works 100% of the time. The only thing you can do to prepare for a street attack is train your sensitivity, speed, power, and reaction time into these basic 9 Dragon Bakwa principles presented on tapes 1 through 3 of this series.